While Pastor was being paid by the taxpayers to represent the city of Cincinnati, he was secretly soliciting bribes from developers. He promoted his own interest above those of the citizens of Cincinnati.
FBI agents arrest a Cincinnati City Council member accused of accepting bribes in exchange for help with city development projects. Good evening, I'm Paula Toti.
And I'm Kyle Linsky. Republican City Council member Jeff Pastor now facing 10 federal counts that could send him to prison for 132 years if he's found guilty on all of them. After a 2-year FBI investigation, a grand jury indicted Pastor on charges including wire services fraud, bribery, extortion, and money laundering. A federal prosecutor says that he solicited money from developers within months of taking office in January 2018, and in some cases accepted bags of cash in return for his vote. Now, Pastor pleaded not guilty in federal court this afternoon, where Local 12's David Winter spoke with him shortly after his release. And David, you guys were sitting pretty close, having a conversation for about 10 minutes, right?
Well, it wasn't much of a conversation, but it was definitely a one-on-one meeting with him inside the courthouse, off camera. You can't bring recording devices inside the courthouse. But it was a really odd experience. It was just the two of us and his co-defendant alone, no attorneys, no marshals, just us inside a very small waiting room in the pre-trial office. And I told him I felt very badly for him. I told him that I asked him what he thought about the charges, and he just looked at me and said no comment. I then asked him what he wanted to say to the people of Cincinnati, and he again said no comment. And then I told him that Betsy Sunderman, his colleague, council member, had requested that he resign. And he just stared at me. Then we rode down the elevators together and walked out those stairs.
A friend walked with Councilman Pastor, trying to shield him from the cameras with an umbrella. Pastor is in the black hoodie and gray sweatpants. He climbed into the back seat and drove away, released on his own recognizance.
It's terrible. I was just as shocked as everybody.
We caught up with Councilmember Betsy Sunderman outside the Law and Public Safety Committee meeting where Pastor was noticeably absent. She says Pastor needs to resign.
He needs to fight this outside of City Hall. I think it's impossible for him to come back and be able to vote on things and propose legislation while this is pending.
It's tough. It's not the best time. It's not the best look when you have my colleagues being arrested.
Vice Mayor Christopher Smitherman says people need to have faith in their government.
The optics, though, are that developers here are willy-nilly going up to council people and offering them bribes.
I've never experienced it.
But Local 12 asked Pastor that very question months ago when his colleague Tamaya Denard was arrested on federal charges, now having pled guilty to selling her vote to a developer.
Are you concerned, given the allegations, that maybe developers have approached other council members and to offer money for favors?
Not at all. Not at all. I said this before and I said it again. I just don't think that behavior happens around here.
Well, I just received a text from the mayor's office. He is now also calling for Pastor to resign. And he also put in here that he felt that city council members should not be individually involved in negotiating economic development deals. Reporting live from the federal courthouse in downtown Cincinnati, David Winter, back to you.
Sad day. Thank you, David. Well, as David mentioned, this is the second time this year that a sitting member of Cincinnati City Council has been accused of corruption related to city development projects. Democrat Tamaya Denard resigned after her arrest in February on fraud and bribery charges. She pleaded guilty in September and was supposed to be sentenced today, but that proceeding was delayed until November 24th.